Let's see, do I got a perfect stand for this? Well, not particularly, it just wants to slide around. I guess that's good enough. Alright, let me get some lighting in here because it's kind of dark. That's not great, but it'll help. At least kind of get some of the blue tone off my face. Alright, I'll wait for some people to show up here, and then we'll probably get going. You know what's happening there, Steven? We're about to install macOS Mojave, the new one that just came out this morning, about an hour ago. So we're going to get into this here. I'm going to let a couple people join in before I get started. And I do have my phone connected on reserve power, so if I don't drag it off my desk, we should be staying connected, I hope. This lightning cable is not exactly great either. It tends to kind of curl up on itself, so that's not going to be particularly pleasant. But anyway, so probably give a couple minutes, I suppose, for people to come on in. Because I can't really set the camera up like this, although I technically could, because then I risk getting reflections in the lens, and then it just keeps sliding because this case is so wore out. So I'm trying to set something up to where it'll kind of stay still. But I doubt that's going to end up happening, so I'm probably going to have to do this handheld. Oh, another Epic Games unsuccessful login attempt, because everybody likes to try to hack my Fortnite account that I never use. Because I only ever played it once, and then I gave up because I didn't like the game. So everybody tries to hack in my account, apparently, so I keep getting all these nice unsuccessful login attempts. But whatever, it is what it is. So, I already got it downloaded. I had to do a 6 gig download, which is quite a bit for a macOS update, although I'm on a fairly modern MacBook, so I guess it kind of makes sense. So, probably won't be too much longer, and then we'll get into this. We got 3 viewers so far on my end, at least that's what I see. So I'll give it a little bit of time here, and then we'll probably hop on in. The only unfortunate thing is that Patrick's probably still in school. Could have a guest commentator on the background, but that's okay. That's all right. Typical. My keyboard tray is really squeaky. It's ridiculous. Okay. So, all right. Just go ahead and flip the camera around. Oh, he's at school right now. Well, I guess Patrick's not the only one. All right, so here we are, macOS Mojave. I'll just use the touchpad for this since I don't want to bother using the mouse and keyboard. License agreement. I agree. Yep, install it on Macintosh HD. That's fine. Password. Give me just a moment. All right. About 10 minutes remaining. Jeez. What is this? I can't even English today. Is this just doing the installation right here inside of High Sierra and then it restarts and just goes right into the OS, or what is it doing? That's interesting, because usually it reboots immediately, but it's been a while since I've done an in-place upgrade from a macOS version to another macOS version, so how would I know? I mean, I went from El Capitan over to Sierra when I had my old Mac Mini, and that went pretty smoothly, but it rebooted almost immediately after I told it to start, and then it started installing, but now it looks like it's actually doing it inside the operating system, so that's a first. So yeah, obviously we're not doing this with OBS because I do have to restart after this finishes. It will not let you not restart, so it's kind of dumb to do a stream with OBS and whatnot, so all right. Goodness. All right, so we're gonna let the old MacBook Pro sit there and update. And I still do not have a way to set this camera down. Are you kidding me? I need some kind of like anti-slip thingamajig that'll let me set this down, because it's kind of annoying. Actually, let me see about uncurling this cable. Well, that just puts another curl in the cable. Oh, lightning cables are so much fun. Whatever. Maybe I'll just turn vibration off on my iPhone. I'll just use that as my prop. I don't know. Make something work. So let's see. Accessibility. Where is vibration? There's vibration. Turn it off. Okay. Will that work? Helps a little bit with the sliding. That's a good thing. Still get the light and the reflection though. So yeah, we got about 16 minutes remaining. I've disconnected all my extra peripherals so that way nothing is interfering. I just have my laptop connected to power and just the external keyboard and mouse because that's not really going to affect anything. That light is still becoming a big bother. Hello, Mr. Sarks guy. How you doing? That's a little better. So yeah, it's not going to really be in the frame, but it is installing right now, so... So what's happening besides the fact that we got one person in school and one person just kind of popping in and being moderating the chat, I guess. I don't know. He's not really a moderator, but he's probably just hanging in and watching my ugly face, as always. Got not much going on this morning. I was getting started on some video editing while I was waiting for the download, so I got another video on the way. It's just going to take a while to get up to the tubes, of course, because of the fact that obviously I'm updating my main video editing computer today, but that shouldn't take too terribly long. There's one thing missing, Mountain Dew. It's in the fridge. I haven't bothered to get any Mountain Dew out. I'm finishing off a cup of coffee. You usually finish off the coffee first before you dive into the Mountain Dew. Oh, your computer restart automatic. That was quick. So it turns out it was not 16 minutes. We are ready to install now. So, okay. Fair enough then. Fair enough. Go for it, I guess. Let's see. Can I set this? Well, no, not really. It's not really all that propped up. Probably not going to be a bong because, yeah, it usually doesn't bong on a setup restart here. So, and there's the usual. Got the Apple logo on the progress bar, and any moment now we should see a text installing and then a remaining time counter. Interestingly, though, I actually have... I gotta go get it first, so let me set my phone down real quick. I did actually get the macOS Mojave unofficial thingamajig going on the old white MacBook. And I almost wonder, once this finishes installing on MacBook Pro, if the build numbers are the same. Just because I'm curious. It says 13 minutes on mine before reaching this screen. Yeah, where's your old iMac with the dying hard drive? Not here anymore. I actually got rid of it. I had to sell it off for really low ball pricing because that was the only way I was going to sell around here, unfortunately. Alright, well, oh. It flashed up to the standard installation screen, then went back to the Apple logo. So yeah, it must have just started the installer. So any moment now we should see a time remaining on the screen. But yeah, around here, Cyrix Guy, things just don't sell. Like, I have this thing right here posted for $150, which is already a bit high for it, I'll admit, given the bad touchpad. But somebody offered me $100. I'm just like, the fuck? So, yeah, it's been kind of annoying trying to sell my MacBooks because nobody wants to buy them if they're over $100, which is stupid. I mean, yeah, they got problems. I'm willing to negotiate price. I have them fairly reasonably priced for what they are, but whatever, I guess. All right, we got a time remaining of about 36, 35 minutes. I doubt it's going to be that long, but you never know. This is going from one major OS to another, so anything goes. I'm going to sit you guys down here. Let's go on to the chat here. I got my SSD tray mount for the HP Omen. Oh, nice. How's the Dell doing? The Dell is doing great. I've not had any issues with it yet. The Radeon R9 380 is actually being used to its maximum potential in the system, which is fantastic. So for playing games, it's great. And I was just dinking around with the new Forza Horizon 4 demo last night on this thing. I had it going at 1080p with the medium preset. And the bottleneck now is the lack of RAM, because the system only has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 ECC memory. Now I need more RAM, because it kept stuttering and having all sorts of fits with the sound when I was playing that game at the medium preset. It defaulted to low because of the 8 gigabytes of RAM. They recommend you have 12 gigs, so quite the beastly amount of RAM requirement. But I can't say I blame them, because it's a big open world and all that's got to be stored in RAM. And it was pretty damn intensive on this poor computer, so it definitely needs more RAM. But otherwise, it's doing great. Like, it's fantastic for playing games like BeamNG, where the CPU definitely dominates. So, interestingly, the time went away and the progress bar filled all the way up, and I'm guessing it's restarting now. I hope I'm coming in okay, because I know the internet's probably very inconsistent since I just downloaded this, and so the internet's probably still building a buffer if I had to guess. So hopefully I'm coming in all right. Doing it on the Mac Mini, but using an external SSD. That internal 5400 RPM hard drive will put the Mac to sleep before it's done downloading. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's unfortunately the case with a Mac Mini. Although I have mine set to never go to sleep when it's plugged in, so yeah, that and I was using it too. My download took about 40 to 45 minutes on my internet connection, which is pretty crap to begin with, so Apple servers must not have been too busy by the time I got my download request in, because it actually went through fairly smoothly without any major hiccups, because, yeah, it was pretty decent. Made me know this answer. My Gmom's HP Envy desktop has a Core i5 6400, 4 gigs of DDR3. I heard that most 6th gen boards can use the 7th gen processors. Is that legit? I'm not too sure on that. I've never really done the research between whether or not Skylake and Kaby Lake can use the same motherboards. I don't know about that. I guess it depends on the motherboard too, because it's all based on the motherboard, because many OEMs have very strict BIOS restrictions on what CPUs they use. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind. All right, there it goes, starting back up the setup. So I find it odd that it goes to that gray screen briefly and then goes back to the Apple logo, but it must be its way of starting the setup is briefly showing that and then going back to the Apple logo. I'm laughing really hard at the fact they managed to have gray text over a grayish background on this one. Yeah, I noticed that one too. I thought that was bizarre. Like, what the hell, Apple? Why didn't you have white text? I mean, come on. It's really hard to read the estimated time remaining on the download as it is. I mean, ridiculous. Like, fail. But I was able to read it from the launch pad, so that was fine. I was able to figure it out from there. All right, we're back to about 35 minutes remaining, so that's a good sign. Hello, Jacob. Well, for OEM motherboard, I think no, but for the normal brand 100 series, Skylake series can support the 7th gen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because a lot of OEM boards, they probably have artificial restrictions set in place, because, of course, they don't want you upgrading their system. They want you to buy a new one. That's how they make their money. So, obviously, they're going to set some kind of hard BIOS restriction to not allow the CPUs to work, even though they might actually work. I'm not too familiar with OEM systems. My newest one is this Dell Precision over here, which is a frickin' Skylake-based Xeon, Sandy Bridge-based Xeon. There we go. Get it right, Jordan. I wish it was a Skylake-based Xeon. Then I'd be set. I'd have my Hackintosh right there ready to roll, but no, it's not. So, anywho, yeah, this is what I got. So, it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch the camera back around to my ugly face since there's nothing going on. But yeah, I'm thinking, where did I set my MagSafe at? I don't remember where I put my MagSafe. When I get home, I'll update my MacBook Air. Oh yeah, by that point, the servers should have all their load pretty much flatlined, so you should be good to go there. I am new to this new processor stuff. My own one has the Core i5 7400. That's what the local museum's office computer that I recommended to them has, is an i5 7400. They've had it now for several months and never given them any issues, although then again, it's kind of an overkill system for them anyway, because of the fact that all it's really going to be doing is doing museum software cataloging and scanning, and that's about it. But they bought that particular system because nice semi-trucks in the background. What's new? Anyway, so they wanted that system in particular because it had a 2 terabyte internal hard drive, and they're still looking into an external drive solution, but they wanted that large internal drive from Acer directly because they wanted to have the capacity to be able to store all their stuff. And eventually, whenever the board over there decides what they want to do, then we go from there on backup solutions for the museum's files, and then other stuff. I mean, can support the 7th gen. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I woke up really early this morning. I don't know why. Like, I woke up really early. I'm not really sure why I did. Anyway, my sleep pattern's pretty crap. I mean, can support 7th gen with a BIOS upgrade for the normal 100 series board with a 6th gen. That is true. I know that for aftermarket boards. The only upgrade I can do is to the i7, probably 7700. As for hers, I don't know the model number offhand. Huh. Well, I suppose it's probably motherboard dependent as well as any other HP or any OEM motherboard. It's always motherboard model dependent as to whether or not a particular system can support a particular upgrade. Now, that much I do know. Well, the MacBook Pro says about 32 minutes remaining. So, we're doing pretty good, I'd say. In the meantime, we're going to open up old Whitey here. We're going to get it fired up. So, I want to make sure that it's working here. I think the battery still has a charge in it. Yeah, it does. Probably not much of a charge, but... Ah, that was loud. But I want to compare build numbers once these two start up. Where is my MagSafe charger? Because I want that to be plugged in. I have no idea where I put my MagSafe. Because I'm that kind of a redneck, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I gotta stretch. Sorry about it. Where did I set that? I don't know. Whatever, I don't plan on having it on constantly. Wait, did I put the MagSafe in here, maybe? I have like 3 different MagSafe chargers. Well, that one's for my MacBook Air. So that's fine. Where is the other one? As far as I remember, I have a 45, a 60, and an 85. And I don't remember where I put both the 60 and the 85. Well, that's really annoying. Anywho, it's up and around 43% battery, so that's probably fine enough for me. Since most of the time it's going to be sitting on standby while I wait for the MacBook Pro to upgrade. Anyway, back to the chat. Upgrading my Hackintosh here. Nice. Well, hopefully you don't have to deal with text file problems. I mean, I got it unofficially here on old Whitey. I got it going here. So, trigger the hard drive. Probably should have moved it around too vigorously. Let's see. Did you hear about the Windows 10 update in October? Well, of course I do, because obviously I got a PC right here on my desk. Not a real big fan, though, of how they're going to be doing this next update where... Another goddamn truck. Yeah, it's going to be a common theme at about this time of day for me, where we get all the trucks from the high school coming past our house, going to lunch, and some of them are just downright stupidly loud. They're just absurd. It's ridiculous. I have to listen to them all the time. Anyway, I hope the new Windows 2 update likes my e-machines I've talked about. Should be fine. Did you update already? Do you mean the Windows 10 update that we're talking about in the chat, or to macOS Mojave? Because mine's still updating right now. I'm at about 29 minutes remaining, roughly halfway across the progress bar, but I imagine it's probably not going to take 29 minutes, but I don't know. I have a Max fan control software update. Yeah, I should probably update that. That wouldn't hurt, since it's not a really big update. I don't know why this is not sitting on the desk. That's really annoying. Alright, install relaunch. Where's the password prompt? There it is. Yeah, I believe the MacBook here is on the final Mojave. Hang on, hide the menu bar. And the reason why I say that is because the build number is not actually showing up on the About panel. So my guess is it's the final Mojave on this one, which is obviously not, it's not supported on the 2010, but I have it installed on here anyway because of course I do. Let's see. I should go and update. I got the MacBook Air 2017. There is no such thing as a 2017 MacBook Air. The MacBook Air had a 2015 update release, but that's it. That's the newest MacBook Air, is the 2015. I have a 2015 MacBook Pro. It's an early 2015 base model with an upgraded SSD, essentially, because it's got the 2.7 gigahertz i5 with 8 gigs of RAM, and the Iris 6100 with the 256 gig flash-based SSD. So it's pretty much a base model except for the upgraded SSD. That's essentially what I have. Anyway, about 27 minutes remaining. We are halfway across the progress bar. I guess I'll go ahead and turn this around here real quick. So yeah, we're about 27 minutes remaining. Progress bar is halfway. I know it's pretty shaky. My apologies. My hands are not exactly the most safe thing. On my MacBook Air 256 gigabyte SSD, I have only 10 gigs left. Oh, jeez. Someone needs to clean their disk. Haha. Be right back, gonna make some coffee. My mom actually made some half-decent coffee this morning. It's actually kind of cold now. I gotta reheat it too, but how can I update to Mojave without any problem? Well, it should just go through the Mac App Store and work. Generally speaking, if you have a supported machine and you're on High Sierra, it should go through with no problems. Because I was previously running High Sierra, now I'm upgrading to Mojave. I did it through the Mac App Store. It worked fine. At least it's worked fine so far. So that's generally the process you want to use when you're doing this. So, yeah. Just taking its time. The only unfortunate thing is that in this time, my fan controller application isn't running. So Apple, by senseless default, leaves this thing to run with the fans at absolute minimum, if they're even on at all. And so this thing is like roasting right now, of course. Like, I can feel the heat just pouring out of the back, and the fans are like dead. Because, of course. I'm going to be so glad when this boots back up and I hear the fans just race to 100% because the temperature's probably at 100 degrees Celsius because Apple doesn't know thermal management. We got about 24 minutes remaining. It looks like it's speeding up now. So my guess is the installation is almost done. The only unfortunate thing is that for right now, I'm going to have to do an upgrade, an in-place upgrade, because I still have stuff going on in iMovie. And I don't feel like doing all the troubling work of having to back up the iMovie library and all that stupid stuff. So assuming that this works without any problems, I should be just fine with being able to upgrade and then continue my work. And then after I get done with my 3 uploads, I should be fine to reset my MacBook Pro with a fresh, clean install of macOS Mojave from Internet Recovery and do it that way, because I'd really like to do a clean installation that's just going to make battery life and performance a lot better, but I have to wait until this finishes. Okay, now it says installation is in progress, calculating time remaining. That's really scientific, Apple. Anyway. Oh, now it says about 24 minutes remaining. Well, sheesh, I would have figured it would not take this long if I'm on a solid state drive, damn it. Whatever. Apple knows what they're doing at this point, I suppose. This is gonna take forever, yay. My biggest worry, though, that might not work when I get into Mojave is my virtual machine software. I use VMware Fusion, and that's my biggest worry of not working. Also that and my fan controller program. I use a program called Max Fan Control to control the fan in my MacBook Pro with a more aggressive thermal profile so it doesn't kill itself. And I fear that's probably not going to work right out of the box with Mojave. But it should be fine because it seems to work just fine on my 2010 and all my other machines that I unofficially put it onto. But I still worry that an in-place upgrade is going to mess something up. But generally speaking, Apple tends to know what they're doing, so it should be fine. But it's still something I worry about. It's probably something I would also worry about if I was upgrading my version of Windows on my PC from, like, for example, 1803 to 1809 or whatever the frig they call that new release, probably 1809. And I'd probably worry about that too. Did you know that the upgrade thing, Windows 7/8.1 to Windows 10, still work if you go with a DVD or a USB stick? Yes. Yes, it does. I've done it countless times now, and it still seems to work just fine. I mean, generally speaking, it tends to work pretty well. I just use old Windows 7 Pro licenses I have lying around. If I want to put something on Windows 10, I just install Windows 7 first, and then I do an in-place upgrade, and then boom, I get a digital certificate. It seems to work just fine. So I still managed to get Windows 10 for free, which is pretty nice, I suppose. Probably not the most legitimate way to do it, but what they don't hear doesn't hurt them. That's what I think of it. That's what I think of it anyway. And probably, anyway, in the end, the more people that Microsoft have on Windows 10, probably, the better it is for them. But honestly, who really gives a shit? But I know for a lot of people, they hate Windows 10. But honestly, at this point, Windows 7's feeling so dated and it's so slow and buggy that it's almost about as bad as Windows 10 now that I honestly can't stand using it on anything that doesn't run Windows 7. I mean, or doesn't run Windows 10. It almost just feels comic. Windows 7, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's starting to feel old. It really is starting to feel old. I mean, I miss the Arrow user interface. I'm not going to lie. I think it looks beautiful even all these years later, but the operating system and its features themselves are just so radically outdated that it's just... God damn it. Ugh, fucking trucks. Anyway, what is this? Windows 10 works good, at least on my Omen. 7 was not my favorite. Vista was my favorite. I never personally used Vista back when it was a main operating system. I only really used Vista refrigerator. When did I start using that stuff? Oh god, I don't even remember. But I grew up running Windows XP for most of my childhood. I pretty much ran XP through and through. And then after that, we went to 7 on our next family computer. And then from there, we've just been running PCs up until a couple of years ago when I finally started buying MacBook Pros and all that stuff and having that fun adventure. And now here I am with my 2015 MacBook Pro, luckily. And I'll tell you what, though, the worst part is Mac resellers. The pricing is just astronomical on used machines. It's ridiculous. I was fortunate enough to be able to have my iPad Pro 10.5 256 gig get me this MacBook Pro as it's just a straight trade across. But my god, these things are still worth $1,000 on eBay. These base models, it's ridiculous. I can't believe how much they're still going for. Like, honestly, if I were to want to spend $1,000 on a computer, I just will save up a few hundred more dollars and buy myself a brand new 2018 base model that has a quad-core i5 in it, because that's what those new 8th gen CPUs have, are quad cores on the i5s and quad-core i7s on the 13-inch, and then a 6-core i7 on the... But I guess to each their own. I guess iPad Pro in a straight trade was this 2015, and I've been happy with it ever since. It's been doing the business very nicely, and I couldn't have asked for a better machine. But seriously, like, these things, they hold their value extremely well. Anyway, will updating Mac affect my Windows/Boot Camp partition? Generally speaking, no, it shouldn't, but I would expect someone to back up their Boot Camp volume before they actually go forth with something like that. Oh, look. The same goddamn truck is passing past our house again! God. Our town is so freaking small that the same freaking vehicles that are loud that pass by our house once, they come past our house multiple times in a day, and it gets so fucking annoying. But I did warn you all. I did warn you all. Ooh, lag. Yeah, it's the network. Good old CenturyLink. Gotta love CenturyLink. It's the best internet ever, but unfortunately, it's the fastest internet for our house. We still get ripped off. It's stupid. We do. There's no ISPs around here. There's just nothing. Okay. I don't know how much time we have left. It doesn't say anything yet. Another goddamn Dodge diesel truck that's passing by our house with some stupidly loud exhaust. Fuck! Sorry for my language, but seriously. I get sick of listening to these trucks day after day after day after day after day. It's the same stupid trucks. I get sick of it. Anyway. Moaning and groaning aside, we have about 16 minutes remaining, and the fan actually spun up a little bit. That's rare. I mean, I can barely hear it, but I did actually hear the fan spin up. And my God, that's some hot air. Holy moly. Yeah, that's roasting. Anywho. Yeah, 16 minutes remaining. Anyway. I'm sure some not well-known ISP is in your area. Oh, there is. There is, but the only problem is that their speed is so slow that you pay just as much for CenturyLink and their top-end service at your address as you would for something with like 6 megabits a second. I'm serious. They still charge an arm and a fucking leg for rip-off internet service around here. Like Verizon, we'll put it this way. Verizon, with their internet service around here, they still sell DSL. That's how far behind Verizon is up here. And you'd be lucky to get 1 megabit a second for $30 a month. 1 megabit for $30 frickin' a month. I'm serious. It's the kind of rip-off service we have around here. Actually, that... God damn it! Fucking loud trucks. Probably people going back and forth between the high school, and all you hear is these freaking trucks all day. I get so fed up with it. I really do. You do not want to be here when I'm here because, yeah, or at this time period because, God, I get so fed up with it. This is why I'm glad I have the house myself, because then I can complain about it all I want. Anyway. We got about 14 minutes remaining on the the installation. And I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go probably heat this back up. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, and I'm back. I got my coffee heated up a little bit, and let's see, we're at 13 minutes remaining, although that's obviously subjective because I know that it's probably not going to take nearly that long. 12 minutes remaining. Gotta love when Jordan rants, reminds me of myself. Yeah, at least you all live in an area where noise violations are more greatly enforced because they are not around here. It is irritating to have to listen to. I'll tell you this one little story. I'm pretty sure I know which vehicle it is. There's this 4-cylinder Jeep that I swear to God has like no exhaust on it whatsoever. And it drove past our house one day, and I swear to God, they get it about like 5,200 RPM, and this thing echoes across the whole town. The whole goddamn town. That's ridiculous. It's like, I swear to God. Two things. One, I fucking hope they get a noise violation ticket. And two, I'm about to put up this sign in my yard that says, if you drive past our house with your noisy car, I will report you to the police, because I'm getting sick of it. It's not okay. Like, I don't care if a car has a standard exhaust that's a little noisy, but it's not over exaggerated exhaust. That's fine. That's perfectly acceptable. But when there's like no exhaust on your truck and it's so freaking loud that it disturbs my household and it vibrates my windows because I have single pane windows, that's when I start to get ballistic. That's when I start to draw the line, because I get sick of it. Anyway, that's first world problems in a nutshell with me around here. I can't stand it. I just can't. I'm trying to do work and I can't do it when all I hear is trucks. And I don't want to listen to trucks all day long. I really don't, but there's nothing I can do because the city doesn't decide they want to enforce their noise violations and park a police car around here when people are around school lunchtime. So I live with it because there's nothing much I can do, because if I don't have a license plate number and I don't have a vehicle description, because usually most of the time I don't, there's not much they can do. So it's pretty unfortunate. Anywho, we have about 10 minutes remaining on the installation. And, yeah, that's about it. It's about all we got going on right now. It says about 10 minutes remaining, so it is what it is. I will say, though, I think I've reached a new peak in my total viewers on my live streams, which is pretty impressive for me, at least. I hit 18 viewers, so not bad. Oh, never mind. But yeah, 18 viewers, so I didn't do too badly, I suppose. Oh, we got a mouse cursor jumped right to... Oh, hey, we're done. Hey! Yay, we're done. Alright. So here we are. We got the Mojave wallpaper and my login screen. So let's see. I'll probably leave it on the stock stuff for now, but let me punch in my password. Oh, and I gotta sign in my Apple ID. Okay, one moment. I gotta type this in, so since it says required, I have to do it. Alright, there we go. Do I want to turn on File Vault? Not at the moment. When I do my fresh, clean install of Mojave, then I will set it up, but I'm not going to do it right now because it's not currently enabled, and I don't want to enable it at the moment. Yes. Dark mode is on by default, and I want to leave it that way because I want that dark mode, man. And there's the MacBook Pro being set up, and ta-da! We are good to go. Can't even tell that Mojave is installed. And there goes the cooling fan raging to 100%. Alright, let me minimize my Discord here. And there we go. macOS Mojave on the 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro 2015. Not too shabby. I gotta say, though, this dark mode looks really nice. Let's see. I actually wonder if there's some other programs that take advantage of the dark mode. I haven't tried iTunes. Oh my god, look at iTunes. Oh my god. This is one of my biggest pet peeves with iTunes, was it didn't have a dark mode. Now it does, and oh my god, look at how gorgeous that looks. My biggest pet peeve. Oh, look at those menus. Man, those look really nice too. I'm going to fangasm a little bit. I have to look at the dark finder. Oh, yes. That looks really nice. That looks really nice. Okay. Now the dongle for my external display worked like a beast first time. Very nice. All right. I suppose we'll check out dark mode Safari next. Whoo! Look at that. Oh, this is going to be so nice. Because I was getting kind of sick of all the light-themed everything. Especially back in the days of Yosemite and El Capitan. Now, my next thing, will VMware Fusion work? I don't know which monitor is going to come out. Yes. Okay, so far so good. Let's see. Well, it hasn't been updated for dark mode yet, which is to no surprise by anyone. That'll probably be fixed in a later patch. Pages should have a dark mode. Apple did update this. Ooh, look at that. Well, I don't mind that this is white, but my god, that dark theme, though. That looks so cool. Let's see. Photos ought to have it, but I don't know what's going to come up on the screen. Nothing really. It's just an old screen grab. But yeah, Photos looks dark. That's really nice. Do I have Office installed? No, because my license ran out of uses, so I don't have Microsoft Office installed, unfortunately. Notes ought to have a dark mode. Yes, it does. There's some teasers on the next video. Let's see, what else? What else would have a dark mode, I think? Well, obviously, System Preferences is going to have it. I know that for a fact. So yeah, there's dark mode. I want to set my accent color to red. I think that would look really nice. Look at that. This is another thing I really liked about Mojave is you can change the accent color finally. So that's really neat. So you can change it to like green or yellow or orange or whatever color you want, pretty much. The default is blue, obviously, but you can set it like pink or red or whatever. But I'm going to leave it on red because I think that just looks neat. So that's awesome. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to check for software updates. I don't think there's any. This is another thing about Mojave that's new is the software updates no longer go through the Mac App Store. They go through System Preferences like they should have been ever since Lion, which I thought was, or no, Mountain Lion, that's right. And Mountain Lion, they took all the software updates and threw them in the Mac App Store, and I thought that was just completely back-assward. So they finally put them back in System Preferences where they belong. How about the App Store itself? Where's my dock? There's the dock. I want to check out that App Store. Ooh, look at how that looks. Nice. Looks really nice. Very nice. Actually, I almost wonder if there's any updates. Nothing yet. I'm going to check to see if any of the other programs got updated for dark mode on Mojave. That would probably include GarageBand, but I don't think GarageBand has something like that yet, at least. I'm not entirely sure. So the updates are like the old days and no longer in the App Store. Well, yeah, I think they ought to be like that because it's kind of dumb how the system updates went through the Mac App Store because it's not an app. So it's kind of completely weird that they would go through the App Store. But anyway, I guess that's just my nitpicking. So, yeah. If I enter your Discord server but I don't talk too often, can I still enter? Yeah, sure, come on in. You're more than welcome to come on in and join. That's fine by me. Speaking of the Discord server, I gotta go look, make sure that's up, and yes, it is. Sweet. Oh, I gotta quit out of VMware Fusion, otherwise it's gonna say I'm playing it. I don't want to do that. Well, alrighty then. We are all set and good to go. I guess I should check once more if the iMovie thing runs. It's probably gonna pop up on that screen. Yes, it does. Of course it does. Alright, nice. And now we can go ahead and pop it up here, and I can get back to work. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now because I'm now on Mojave, and so far so good. So if I have anything to report, I will let you all know in a future video. But for right now, that's probably about it for the stream. So I'm going to go and wrap it up and get back to my day. So thank you all for coming into the stream. So, yeah.